So now today's Decay. Celebrating first beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. April 17th edition. All day. What all happened today, you ask? Well, 1891, George Adamski was born, who was a believer in UFOs, reportedly had experiences and took photographs of UFOs, and had first-hand experiences with Venusians. Is that the right term? Something like that? I don't know. Can't say. But I can say he was born today, 1891. The Aurora, Texas UFO incident occurred today in 1897. Interesting, if only because it's a documented, reported UFO crash in America that predates Roswell. Apparently, it crashed into a barn, I think. Was it a church? Something like that? I don't know. But the reports were this was something from not of this world, which I guess is fun to think about so early on that, like, the idea of space travel wasn't realistic, right? So I guess 1897, this is right around the time of War of the Worlds. So I guess maybe it was like one could say, ripped from the headlines. I don't know. Not sure. Right? What year is War of the Worlds? It's around that same time. Pretty sure. 1997. Anyway, Roy Ashton, born today, 1909, who was Hammer's answer to Jack Pierce. That's to say, he's responsible for a good deal of the monster makeup seen in many of the classic Hammer horror films. Here's a weird one. Gibble Sensatsly. I don't know. It's Russian. I don't even know why I tried to pronounce it. Translates to Death of Sensation, aka Robots of Ripley, which is a really fun and absurd take on Metropolis, really, where they have these giant robots that are created to, like, take over for the working class and replace them. And there's this whole saxophone thing where the guy, like, controls them with a saxophone. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Robots of Ripley. I think I have it here somewhere. Anyway, I definitely, right? Is it under R? Everything's in order here. It's probably right under here. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Ron Haydock, born today, 1940. That's Rat Fink himself, with a P. A Rat Fink. Yeah. We were able to interview Don Glute for one of our House of No events the other month, and he gave a whole bunch of Ron Haydock first-person stories. That was excellent. I'm very proud to present that to a room full of people. Yeah. Ron Haydock was a rock and roll horror fanatic who did whatever he wanted, lived life, and ran around as a superhero in Rat Fink Boo Boo. Yeah. And also wrote Monster Magazine articles, supposedly he might have stolen the sound discs of Frankenstein, the 31 sound discs from Forey Ackerman's house. Questionable. I've heard different stories about this. And Forey says he'd much rather have some things go missing over the years than just be like somebody who hoards everything and never lets it out to the world. So he'd rather these sort of things happen than the alternative. Whether he was talking about Ron Haydock or not, I'm not sure. Yeah. Billy Fury, also born today, 1940. British rock and roller, super cool. That Sound of Fury LP is just really something else. You know, I think a lot of the British rock and rollers were clearly like taking certain elements of American performers and like making them their own. But then there's Billy Fury, and that Sound of Fury LP, 100% him, really super cool. Also super cool, 1954 today, Rowdy Roddy Piper was born. This is my wrestling obsession is primarily about Rowdy Roddy Piper and like those Piper's Pit TV shows he did where like he'd destroy the set and everything. I'd never seen anything like it. It seemed like so surreal that like a television set could be like destroyed on television and like all the illusion is gone, you know? I'll never forget it. I also got to see him perform mid-80s. There was like a Royal Rumble type situation, but it wasn't where there was like, 20, 30 people, wrestlers in there. And it was at Nassau Coliseum, which is where the Islanders hockey team is based out of. And so he got disqualified early in this game or whatever and match and came running back into the ring moments later dressed in a hockey mask. Dressed in a hockey mask and a chain and with a chainsaw, and just like revving up the chainsaw, and like just everybody bolted, and like he was the last one standing and won, and it was kind of perfect, yeah. The film Ega premiered today in 1962, ridiculousness for sure. Chuck Biscuits, born today in 1965. The obviously drummer of all sorts of great bands. The Portage County UFO chase occurred today in 1966. This is an interesting one. I think it involved cops who reported it, who were chasing it from like town to town or something like that. I forget. I used to remember more of this, but I don't. What else? Oh, most importantly, at 3 p.m. today, 1982, you could have gone down to Vinyl Fetish, the record store in Los Angeles, for an in-store appearance of the Misfits with Vampira, Mila Nurmi herself. She showed up in full character, and the way it was explained in one of those books, which one was it? Was it the recent Vampira book, or was it the Misfits book? One or the other. Talks about it that like nobody showed up. That like this was just the Misfits and Milo Nurmi sitting at a record store for a signing in like an empty room because like who was going to show up and get something signed by like a hardcore band, and they didn't know who Vampira was probably either, right? Yeah. Oh, to be a fly on the wall. To be a Dwight Fry on the wall, huh? Yeah, he's pooped. I don't blame him. Anyway, that's it. The whole day from us to you. Till tomorrow. Goodbye.